So what we're looking at here is a couple of frets. One of them I pulled out of a neck, and the other I'm getting ready to put into this neck here. This first one here, you'll see, if you'll notice, you'll see this is the tang, the bottom part of the fret that tang holds it into the fretboard. It goes into a slot in the fretboard, holds the fret in, and you'll see how the tang ends before the end of the fret does, and that's because this particular guitar, if you want to bring the camera up, is to me. Oh. This particular guitar is a Jackson instrument, and it has binding on the edge of the fretboard. Hi, I'm Keith Holland, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about frets today on this Jackson guitar here. So basically what we're doing here, what I've done so far, is I've removed all the strings on this guitar, and also, since it's a V instrument, you'll see it has the big points here that I need to protect. I've taken some old string packages here, and I've mounted them over the sharp areas here to protect those areas from chipping, knocking, and chipping, just in case an accident happens. That's important to do on any of these larger guitars that have sharp points to them. So I've taken the old string package and I've taped it on the end there. You'll notice I have a piece of tape here on my shirt. Before you tape any guitar, you want to take a little of the stickum off. The best way to do that is to just stick it on your shirt or your pants before you stick it to the guitar. That way it takes some of that initial stickum off of the tape and protects the finish as well. So I protected those ends. Then over here now I have removed this first fret, and I prepared the larger fret that this entire guitar is going to get these frets installed. And I don't know if you can look closely at this or not, but you'll see that one end I have actually clipped that tang off to go just to the inside of the binding here, so that it doesn't interfere with the binding. I heard horror stories back in the old days that they used to have to remove the binding before they do the refrets, and then they reinstall the binding and do the finish touch-up. Boy, what a big job that is. Thank God for these new tools that they have these days. This is a fret tang nipper. So basically what I'm going to do is, what I have done already, is I've nipped one side off and checked it. So now what I'll do is nip the other side off, check it, make sure it's on the inside, and then that fretboard is ready to receive that fret. The tang is on the inside of the binding, and that's how a refret on a bound instrument is done. There's a lot of other procedures that need to go along with this, but this is just kind of a little helpful, fun little thing to know how these refrets are created. Because when people come in to pick up their guitars, they're just astounded at, gosh, it looks like a new guitar. You didn't have to do anything extra to it. No, I've done these binding refrets, and this is the way we do them. We actually have to create the fret, the cuts in the fret tang before we put the fret in, and that's how these are done. Hi, so this is the second or the third part of our refret informational study here. What I've done here, this is an older Les Paul, about a 25, 30-year-old Les Paul that I'm about to refret here, and the way this guitar is constructed is the frets are put on before the binding is actually installed. So what that does basically is it enables the person, when he's putting the frets in, to actually file those frets flush to the inside of the fretboard. So when the binding goes on, the binding goes just to the outside of that, right into the slot. And the binding's a little bit higher, so they scrape the binding off, and it leaves this tiny little, what they call a nub right here. It's a little portion of the binding that is on the outside of the fret and kind of rises up along with the fret. So in order to maintain the integrity of this elderly instrument, it's important to be able to retain that nub right there. So what I've done is, just as I've done exactly with the regular binding refretting process, is I've cut to the inside of the tang to remove the tang so it fits in between the binding. But now I also have to hand shape the edge of that fret so that when it goes in, it just runs to the inside of that nub right there. So when that fret goes in, it gets hammered in right there. It goes just to the inside. I've shaped this side. On this side here, I've actually got a little red pin mark where I will take and clip off the end of that fret, and then I'll take my sanding block with a 120 sandpaper and actually finely sand that fret and kind of ramp it in slightly to fit just to the inside. So this is kind of a time-consuming job, but it's a good way to retain the vintage the vintage vibe of this instrument when all the frets go in and they are in exactly the same spot that they were when I removed them, without touching the edge of the binding, without removing that nub. And just a little fun information there, and that's how we do a nub retention refret. Thank you. One thing I've done in preparation of protecting the top of this instrument, whenever you're using files and cutting objects and so on and so forth on a fretboard, that fretboard actually runs into the top of the instrument. So you want to protect this area of the instrument. You'll see that I have actually cut out a piece of relatively strong plastic here and cut it out in the same shape and actually taped it on here to protect the entire top of this instrument. Still need to be real protective of the area. Even though you do have it protected, you want to still be real careful as you work up here, because it's not impervious to some of these sharp objects that you use. So just wanted to show you that. That's what we do to protect the top of an instrument.